Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about what is the impact of your charitable contributions to your children.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be asking the question, what is the impact of your charitable contributions to your children? So at the end of the day, our kids mimic what we do. And if they see that you are contributing in the community at a high level, it may impact them short term, like, I wish I had more time with mom. I wish I had more time with dad. I know when I was a kid, my mom, I still, to this day, don't know how she did it, but I'm mimicking what she did. There are various, nonprofit organizations that we like to impact in our family. In addition to that, my wife donates her time. She's gifted with a voice, and she sings at the church for the kids every Sunday. I am fairly good at leadership, and I am the co-president of the PTA at my son's school. Our favorite charity is the Sock It To 'Em Sock campaign, and if you guys are interested in looking at that, you can become a sock ambassador, and that is socks for the homeless. Is the number one clothing need for the homeless. People donate pants, and they'll donate jackets, and they'll donate shirts, they'll donate shorts, but very few people, when we get holes in our socks, that's when we throw them out, and we're not going to donate those. So the Sock It To 'Em Sock campaign really is a campaign to help them, one, have clean socks. But most people don't know this either, but homeless people, the number one area that they get sick from is disease through their feet because they're unclean. So the Sock It To 'Em Sock campaign at this point has donated over 600,000 pairs of socks to the homeless. And basically what they do is they ask people like myself to organize, or you could organize it at your place of work and say, we're going to do Socktober, which is coming up here next month. And during the month of Socktober or October, you can collect socks at your place of business. And all the sock campaign wants to do, the Sock It To 'Em Sock campaign, is for you to, one, become an ambassador and say, hey, you're willing to do this, collect socks, and then donate them to a local shelter that could distribute them somewhere local in your city, so that anybody could do this anywhere, and just report how many pairs of clean socks or new socks were donated through your organization on behalf of the Sock It To 'Em Sock campaign. This wasn't going to be a charity thing, but it's so near and dear to my heart. I promised the ladies who founded this thing that I would eventually get it into my church, which is a mega church. And after 3 years of dripping on the church and saying, hey, this is a good thing, my men's group did it last year, and I brought it to the men's small group leader. And because it's a mega church, we have over 100 men's small groups, and he introduced it as something they could do outside of the church this year. So I expect, a huge influx of socks from that. Anyway, what is the impact on your children? One, my son loves the sock campaign. He loves that his dad is the president of the PTA, when his mother is singing at church, and he's one of many kids at church that get to experience that, I think he gets a little embarrassed, but at the same time, he's proud. Like, wow, those are my parents that are impacting. And I know selfishly as a child, I used to get frustrated when my mom gave back to the community. I'd be like, I want your time. I want your time. But she gave me her time. Just like I give my kids my time in a very impactful way, in a very intimate, like one-on-one basis. My kids get me every single day. But because we have a sense of stability, because our basic needs are met, I think it's our duty to give back to the community in any way we can, whether that's through financial or if it's just our time and volunteering. And we do both. But the long-term effect on our kids is they're gonna see the importance of giving back and how it impacted them, how it made them feel as kids. I guarantee you, our boys feel and as if they're a part of the community, because they are. Everybody knows our kids because of us. Now, we don't do it for that. But it's like, hey, I know your mom, I know your dad. We have a community of people watching our kids. And our kids know that they're being watched. And I believe at some level that's why they behave very well. Because they know things will get back to us. Because we're involved in the community. And people respect that. They are respected. We are respected. But more importantly, it's because we respect those areas of need. So when you're trying to empower your kids, when you're trying to teach them about respect and giving back, we can tell these kids these things, but it's better to teach them through your actions. My mom taught me through her actions. And I believe I'm doing the same thing for my kids. And there's not one day that I regret how I impact the community. There's not one day that I get on a podcast and say, wow, this is just a waste of time. Because the feedback I get from you listeners is that, wow, I never thought of it that way. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, listen, you did this episode on XYZ, and it just changed my perspective on how I parent in that way. And it's working. So I just want you to know that give back to the community. There are days where I say maybe I'm giving too much back and I'm taking away from my kids. I struggle with that sometimes. But at the end of the day, when they're my age and they're giving back and understanding the importance, and hopefully they're well-rounded individuals, that they're impacting the world in a positive way. And hopefully they feel and see that their parents are impacting the world in a positive way. And what better gift can we give our kids than to show them how to impact and empower others in a positive way? That just makes sense to me. Short term, they may feel as though they want more time, but long term, that selfishness turns into selflessness. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.